first of all, want to give Ohio State credit. Good football team. I think Barrett makes a difference for them. There's no doubt about that. I think Braxton Miller's a special athlete with the ball in his hands, and then obviously their tailback. I thought they played well up front as well. We're having major issues. We've had major issues for 2 years with punting the ball. The way we want to, the way we need to play right now, which is play great on defense and find ways to grind it out on offense and play field position. We haven't been able to do that for 2 years. If we need to have open tryouts, we're going to have to find a way to solve that problem. That's been a major issue for us. We had real opportunities, I think, early in the game. There was a touchdown that got called back for a penalty. I think it was a significant play in the game at that point. We had a huge drop ball down in the low red zone. We had some opportunities early in the game. Our defense was playing well, the offense was moving the ball, and those things, we weren't able to capitalize on it. And when you don't capitalize on the road against the #1 team in the country, you're going to have some problems. So, the same guys that keep stepping up. Carl Nassib, Anthony Zettel, Garrett Sickles had a big game, career high, 8 tackles. Barkley with 193 rushing yards. So we got some work to do. Give those guys credit. Good football team.
Questions for Coach?
James, I won't ask you what exactly happened to Christian, but did you consider taking him out of the game? And why did you have him in late, down 28 points?
He got banged up. Asked the doctors if he was good to go. They said he was good to go. So again, we're gonna continue. No different than late in the game. They had Bosa and their starting defense in there. We're still playing football to win, to try to find a way to be successful.
James, early in the game when you went for it on 4th and 8, did you give any thoughts to a field goal in that situation?
Yeah, I think it was a 48-yard field goal. Now, one of the issues that we had, it showed up late, is we're getting push inside. They triple teamed our right guard Chaz and knocked him back. And unless you're going to be really stout, Joe has a tendency on the long field goals. He can bang them, but they come out with a low trajectory. And that was the situation right there. We felt like we also had some opportunities from a field position standpoint that we didn't take advantage of. There was one time where I was hoping that we'd punt them deep and didn't do that. So obviously we're going to have to factor all those things into how we're handling normal situational football, how you would normally manage a game. Those things are affected by that now.
James, what did you think of Barkley's performance? And did you think he would be getting carries, like mid-20s, like 25, 26 carries, like he did tonight? Yeah,
again, as you guys know, I mentioned I was hopeful that he was going to be able to play last week. Obviously he played well this week. We want to continue building on that. One of the things that was challenging is, he's running the ball, we're moving the ball and having some success, and we have a negative yardage play. Now you're in a long yardage situation, obvious passing situation, which is everything you want to stay out of with where we're at right now, especially being on the road. We had the issue with the crowd noise, and the snap got snapped at the wrong time, and it hits Brandon on the fake sweep. Those things on the road, again, getting the long yardage situations make it real challenging.
James, you were in some very difficult situations from Ohio State's punting perspective. They got you time and again inside the. Can you talk about what an impact that made, kind of converts to?
Yeah, I think that's significant. The fact that their punter, was able to be really aggressive and get the ball off. Not only was he able to swing field position a few times, but he was also able to sky punt us and back us down there deep a bunch of times. I mean, the ball, I think one time, rolled down to the 2 or 3 yard line, and then numerous times we caught the ball at the 6, and then we go to punt it, and we punt it for, I don't know what was the average. It wasn't very good. And so, that field position kept catching up with us.
Coach, can you explain what happened on that? I think it was a 4th and 2, and looked like Barkley curled out to the right, was wide open, but seemed to be a breakdown in communication, and Hackenberg was pressured. Can you take us through that and what exactly happened out there?
Yeah, I mean, Barkley was the 4th progression on the backside. So, I mean, those things are, unless you kind of understand the quarterback progression. We went from the flat to a stick route. Again, we had opinions. We thought we had a chance at the stick route. Didn't happen. They kept getting pushed and getting pressure. For Christian to think we're going to get back to the fourth progression on a three-step drops, probably not going to happen.
James, we've seen the drops happen with Mike quite a few times this year, and I mean, he has the abilities and the unique talent. Do you have to say anything to him, or do you think he's maybe inside his head too much? I mean, we've seen him be as critical of himself as anyone else.
Yeah, he's got a chance to be a really good player. We believe in him. He's got opportunities to make plays that he will make, and we're going to keep going to him and keep giving him opportunities. He's made those plays in practice. He's made those plays in games, but he needs to do it consistently. No different than any other guy.
What can you tell us about Kyle, and how much did not having him hurt you in a game like this, a veteran player like that?
Well, not having Kyle, really factored into Adam Brenneman. Weren't sure that Adam Brennan was going to be available. Started working him on the scout team. Kyle goes down. We're able to bring Adam up, and he handled it well. Obviously, first game back in a long time, but I think from Wednesday on, he practiced up with us and did some good things. So the fact that we had an older guy who's played some football, it didn't have a huge impact from a game plan perspective and those types of things.
James, you started off the game with a field goal and then started the second half with a touchdown, and then you kind of lost momentum after both those drives. How costly was that, and what kind of went into you losing the momentum there?
Well, I think it's what a lot of the things that we kind of already talked about. We had some opportunities early on that we didn't take advantage of. We got in the negative, we got some negative yardage plays that put us in, some challenging situations with their D-line and Bosa. I thought it was at times in the interior of our offensive line we struggled and got beat, and then we got pushed back several times at tackle. So, again, if we could have played the field position game and ran the ball more consistently and not got the negative yardage plays, then I think we would have had a chance to get the game to the fourth quarter in a little bit more of a competitive fashion and see what happens. Our message at halftime was, I think it was, we were down by 17, no different than we were last year. The difference, obviously, last year, we were at home, and this year we're on the road. I think those things factor in. Again, good football team, give them credit. We had opportunities that we did not take advantage of.
James, how much of the dynamic changed for your defense once they got buried in there more, sort of stuck to that and gave you more of those option looks?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that was different. I thought we were actually playing pretty good when it was a traditional drop back quarterback, running the ball, traditional running game, traditional drop back, go through your progression. Now Barrett comes in and the speed and the athleticism that he has, not only to beat you, with his arm, but also beat you with his legs. Those guys, I think, the combination of the tailback, the quarterback, and Braxton Miller. And like I mentioned in the very beginning, those three guys, I think, just play at a different speed. And that definitely factored in. There's no doubt about it.
Anything else for James? Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks, guys.